Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for coming for another Ask Me Anything session from GrowthHackers towards our community. These sessions are where we invite growth professionals from all over the globe, and they come to the community, and everyone can ask them questions about their jobs, their careers, how they're doing, and what their plans are, and how did they get there, how is the growth structure in the companies they are, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm super excited today because we are inviting in, we have as a host for AMAs, Nathália Carvalho. Nathália is senior marketing analyst from CISCO. And Nathália is here with us today to answer questions on topics that are very much timely in a time like this. And that's one of the reasons why we invited Nathália here, is to discuss remote teams collaboration, global demand generation for digital products, localization of global products, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So these topics are on our minds right now as growth professionals. I'm sure it's on your minds as well. And Nathália is here with us. Without further ado, Nathália, please introduce yourself, and we can then get going with so many questions that we have to answer.
Yes. Thanks a lot, Emilia. I am really glad to be here today. And okay, let's talk about myself. I started my career thinking I would be a journalist working on a magazine, and I never worked in a magazine. I started with a Microsoft partner, and they spent 5 really great years there, and I learned a lot about digital marketing. Since I finished my college, my university, I started to study more about content marketing, and right now I am responsible for collaboration business unit in Latin America from the marketing perspective, and this is a really great time to talk about remote work, as you said, and how to manage remote teams. And since ever CISCO used to work remote, we have this politic to work in home. And when I started in this position was the first week of pandemic in Brazil, and right now I am in São Paulo, and I was like in the eye of the thing and the understanding how we can leverage the strategy and work better to make our customers and people work better. So this is huge, and one of the things that I saw a lot of people question about how to manage this remotely. So we can start with this question if you want.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a very important one to kick off our AMA. Here at GrowthHackers as well, we were 60% of the team was already working remotely. We have lots of processes in places. As you know, our softwares also help remote teams and marketing and growth teams to organize all their processes. And when the shelter-in-place movement began, we moved everyone remote, and we are now, as you, 100%. And the first question that we have from Marivi. Marivi is asking, Nathália, during COVID-19, we had to quickly adapt and increase collaboration of different teams and change work dynamics. So she has 2 questions, and the first one is, what tools do you suggest to generate remote team sessions? I imagine sessions like this one and actually operational work sessions. What do you recommend?
Yes, for sure. Definitely, I need to invite Marivi to know more about CISCO WebEx meetings. And not only because I am responsible for this platform here in Latam, that's because it's the unique platform that we can offer a complete view of collaboration. What I mean when I say complete view, we have a secure experience with integration with another tools, and we can generate these remote sessions, as she said, very easy internally and externally. Is like just one click and you can open a video conference with a customer or with your team. So this is one of the things that I used to say, to be easy and fast and very simple. Is all about experience and about the user experience. So no more about Cisco WebEx for sure. I'm not doing merchandise.
Yeah, sure. We're trying to help here, and Marivi also asked about practices that you might recommend to keep people updated without having to hold a bunch of calls and sending tons of emails.
Yes, well, I said in the past weeks for a friend of mine that I personally hate emails, so I need to confess this here. And one of the things that I used to work very well for me is to communicate through videos. So if you can, it's not only about tools. Let's talk about the format. When you produce short videos and send these through your team with report numbers or any ask that you have, they pay attention. And we are not saying that we need to have a lot of calls. You can record this and send through a message. And again, we have another tool from Cisco WebEx Teams, that is the similar to meetings, but is more about messaging. And you can send this through a group or in a space that you can create with your team internally and again externally too. So it's very easy to use. So, but about practice, I recommend format video, and not only internally but externally again.
That's so interesting. We started doing that with customers when they have specific questions on the software, as well as when they ask about cases and best practices. And I can definitely vouch for that answer, that videos are working very well for us too. We sometimes attach them on an email, embed them on the email body, and people definitely consume this type of content format.
Easy to consume.
It's not a coincidence that we brought videos to our AMAs. They were usually, and they are usually done totally written, but now I think it's a time for us to feel more, to feel closer to people, even if we are apart. I think everyone is needing this type of connection, and seeing faces and talking to people like this is definitely something. Yeah, the least we can do. So now, Nathália, we have more questions here. One of them goes towards suggestions that you can give as a marketing professional with so much expertise and experience. And Liu Shuai asks you, she's going to do consultations and nutritional deployments for women's health. Yeah, this is her product, and the concept of promotion and growth for her are vague. She doesn't know where to start. Do you have any good suggestions for her?
Yes, for sure. And in fact, I'm not an expert to talk about women's health. I really need to spend more time doing this. But I would suggest to start creating a personal brand. And especially here in Brazil, I was thinking that we have this influencer strategy very, very strong for brands, but we can build your own brand, your own personal influencer inside your product. So start making and building relevant content. And again, videos are really, really important. And I want to give an extra tip for this. I would use Instagram, as we see a lot of engagement there. And today is one of the social media channels that we can engage more with the audience. So I would start there with video content and your own personal brand. this is one thing that I really want to invite the audience here to think more about. We are in a situation globally that everybody, every brand, every company is trying to get a place in front of the customer, in front of the audience. If you don't produce anything that is relevant or anything that is real, you can get this attention. So this is one of the things that I truly believe that we need to start thinking about.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. It's all about being helpful first, right? Being useful to the audience. I love that suggestion that you had. Another question here from Romil Santiago. Romil asks if it is possible to lead growth effectively with a geographically dispersed or remote team. And if so, what are the best practices and processes to keep the momentum up so people keep getting very excited about growth, about working together, even if they are in different places of the globe? I mean, you're doing that every day, right, with your team?
Yes. One of the things that we try to do is to keep this constant communication very clear and transparent. So that's why I said I hate emails, but I use emails like to be a formal thing in the end of the day. And in the daily work, every time I am in different space working together with people around the globe. For example, we have these time zones in our team. I have a peer in Singapore, I have a peer in US. So we just try to keep everybody updated. So, okay, I need to do something and I need your help. Just put this on the group and share exactly what you need. And the other thing that I used to do, and one of my mentors said this to me, is that we need to make sure that you are clear on what you are writing or saying or sending, because this is one thing about language. We have a lot of things to think when we are asking something or helping someone. And one of the challenges that we have for sure is about language. So I try to be fast and the clear communication, but very, very simple, not a very big email to ask something. I don't know if I was clear.
That's a good one. Being concise, I believe, is one way to get the message across, for sure. Adrian Kilpatrick. Adrian asks two questions, okay? The first one is, what is the best way to lead a team of remote employees? It's a very similar one to the previous one, but if you are, you mentioned you have peers, but if you are the leader of the team, what practices do you have in place in order to ensure that people are motivated, that people are actually pushing forward?
Yes, and this is one question that I am pretty new, and I don't have any directly people working for me, but I have a team supporting me in America Latina. And what we are trying to do is have the process very clear. For example, who is owner for each task, who will help on this project. So having this very clear, we can build connections. And when I say connections, is about calls and messaging and not emails, please. But we have, for example, the weekly calls that I love with all the team in America Latina, and we try to point every top of mind for each one, and we can ask for help or help someone. So to lead, in fact, is again about to be clear about the message. And I used to like to, I use it to do video calls and with the camera open. And this is something fun fact from Cisco. Every time we schedule a call, I open my camera, even the other don't, because we can connect and make sure that we used to be multitasking, but I'm trying to get the attention and be here for this person and all the attention for him or her. So this is something that I really try to do with my team. When I have to ask or help someone, I open my camera and do a video call, but very fast too. I'm not saying that we need to spend all the time in calls. We need to separate the routine, but I used to do these weekly calls with my team. This is really, really helpful.
Great tips. So not only have everyone assigned to their tasks and goals, but the whole team needs to make sure that they understand each other's roles. I think that's definitely something that we can do as a leader to spread the hierarchy and not have a top-down approach, which even remotely it makes things so much harder. And this last part of your suggestion on keeping the camera open, I love that. I think definitely that's one way for us to connect and to get closer to the team, even if we are apart and thousands of miles away. The other question from Adrian is connected to the first one you answered. He asks about the best tools to help track your remote workforce. So it's a similar one, but he's talking about tracking. So I imagine that he wants to know more about metrics and how to follow up with dashboards and make sure that everyone understands the results everyone is bringing.
Yes, here in Cisco we have a tool that's called a team space, and everybody puts the tasks there, so we can track the progress or if they are not progressing. And there is another thing that is very good on this tool is about sentiment. We can talk. This is very subjective, and this is not too objective, but it's very important to know how your team is feeling, how they are passing through these situations, or if they are not getting everything that they need to make this work done. And this tool is part of an AGR thing, so everybody use, and you can connect with your leader, and you can share with other stakeholders too, so they can see how is going through your work. So this is another thing that we use here, and I truly believe that helps. And again, transparency and the clear communication from everybody. I am lucky with this team because everybody is very clear, crystal clear with everybody here.
Wow, that's not a given for sure. That's something to be grateful in a time like this, especially. And in terms of Rachel Gold, in terms of when you approach new team members and you have this remote structure or you are trying to build one, what are the main concerns on hiring someone that will be spending the whole time apart from you, working from another place, maybe another country?
Nice. This is a really great question too, because I just started participating on the hiring process here in Cisco for a new position in our it's similar a call center that we have here, and I had an opportunity to talk with two people, and they were in their house for sure. And the main concern for me that time was to make sure that they understood about the position and they understood about the tools that they need to use, because I used to say that CISCO, for example, is a self-serve company. You have a lot of trainings available, a lot of documents and process very clear, but we do need to have a mentor or someone to guide these people, because it is a giant. It's too much for everybody. And not only about Cisco, when we are hiring someone, I used to say we need to make sure that these people can work in their best. So this is one of the things that I used to say. Let's try to build a plan onboarding these people. And when we are talking about remote worker, again, we need these tools available here in Cisco and in the marketing for video conferencing. And not only about sharing video camera or something like this, we need to share best practice and use all the features that you have. For example, you can share your screen and go through all the process step by step, and training these people in your tool, and sharing another notes that you have from the past of this position. So everything you can put together through a screen is available through our tools in Cisco meetings or Cisco WebEx meetings or Cisco WebEx Teams. So again, it's not only about the tool; it's how you use the tool.
Yeah, definitely. And the idea behind having someone that truly understands the role, truly understands the tools they need, as well as a clear onboarding process. And the cherry on top for me was when you mentioned the need for a mentor. I think that's not something many companies do, but even in startups, it is. I mean, it's very well needed, very much needed for startups to have these type of figures, because I mean, let's be real. In a time like this, everyone has their schedules packed and not much time to give all the attention a new onboarding team member needs. So having a mentor to answer questions, to have a go-to person, I believe that can definitely change the experience for someone new coming to your team. Another question that I think it's really interesting, especially to you with all of your marketing automation background, Agri Victor asks us the challenges of SaaS startups. So a company beginning with a subscription product, when it comes to marketing automation, what are the main challenges that you see having yourself some baby products that could be called startups from within, from Cisco? You have had this experience before. So what challenges have you overcome, and you can help us in the future when we need?
Yes, I believe it depends on the size of the company. When we talk about marketing automation, and I see there is another question about this, so I can compilate this in one, because my first concern about marketing automation is about the integration and make sure that every data is available for everybody. Of course, we have levels of access, but for example, when you have a sales team and a marketing team really integrated, they really need to see what we are doing with this each audience. So, for example, when you are implementing a marketing automation, you need to guarantee that this is connected with your CRM or with the other tools that you use with the sales team. Because if I send an email and my sales team don't know, and they call and doing another approach, so can be a mess for the audience and the customer. So one of the challenges that I always try to face, and the make sure that we will not be a very strong, very big challenge is about these integrations. And they talking about startups, I feel envy a little because we have I assume that we have more possibilities and use these possibilities. For example, you can be creative and test and do a lot of A/B testing using the marketing automations, the marketing automation tools that you have, and see what fits better for your internal team to use all the capacity that these tools have. So there is a lot to talk about marketing automation. This is the main subject for me, and when I have the opportunity to implement an end-to-end process in my past job, I could see a lot of challenge with tools. And again, if this is not only about which tool you choose, but how you use this tool. And each feature has a simple way to include in your journey or not, or how you can have this really automated. Because I can't believe when someone said to me, I need to export something and create a dash for a sales team, and they say, okay, please don't do this, we need to train this team to use the tool, and not only say, okay, here's your chart, let's go. You know what I mean? This is true
Definitely.
to distance from.
No, definitely. And we have a process here on Growth Hackers where the growth marketing team, the growth product team, as well as the sales team, everyone sees the same information as they come. And definitely, when something goes wrong, or when we are establishing a new journey, and some information is not well connected, that's the nightmare right there. So having to export information, to have someone learn about a certain results or process or update, that type of behavior for sure brings a lot of lagging into the process, and that lagging will make your team slow down over time. And that's the opposite
Exactly.
of what we want with marketing automation. So there's a follow-up question that comes from Ajet, and he asks if you see any differences between B2B and B2C marketing automation when it comes to working with automation for businesses or direct to consumer. Is there any type of tricks that differ from these two strategies?
Well, I would say something very, very polemic right now that we don't have B2B and B2C anymore, please. We need to use another term. And I don't know post-pandemic how it will be, but I love the term human to human. Because when you see B2B, it's like, okay, it's a company, it's a brand talking to another brand, but in the end it is a person too, it is a human. And talking about the tool specifically, use this to know more about people. For example, we have the information about sentiment, the information about engagement, which content they are looking for more. And this is the type of metrics that I would try to set up inside my marketing automation tool. And it depends on each one we are choosing here. So that's my final answer. I believe this is a polemic thing because everybody say.
Yeah, that's a topic I'm very much excited about right now. I see the evolution, the recent evolution of all of these products that were built for the end user era, and many other products adapting to that. Definitely, even the B2B software that are winning in the moment are the ones that connect to the user. We are not
Exactly.
trying to sell to the CIO anymore or the manager anymore. Who sells internally your products as a SaaS, at least SaaS B2B, is your user. He or she, they are the ultimate sale point for sure. They are the heroes. If someone from the team says no to a tool, if someone from the team says no to a certain tool, and that breaks a chain, and that can put everything, in jeopardize all of your sales efforts.
Yes, just to add something here about the buyer persona is about industries, verticals, and segments. When we are building your strategy for marketing automation, I suggest you to create your audience very segmented by your interest. For example, here in CISCO, definitely we are looking to the verticals for education and healthcare, because for sure during this pandemic we have these needs from there very specific, for example telemedicine and the other kind of things. So how we talk with this person today, we are changing a lot. It's like a very different big new word for everybody, not only for CISCO, for every brand. So this is one thing that is top of mind for me, how I can truly help my customer and not only send them ads on LinkedIn.
Definitely. I love that. How can we be truly helpful is something that is always on our mind as well. And I think it's the time to definitely understand that deeply. Otherwise, your whole business can be, it can be questioned if you're simply trying to sell in a moment like this without understanding deeply how helpful your products or services are. People will definitely look across that. And another question here, Nathália, that I think is perfect for you is on online collaboration tools. And if it is important still in a time like this, if it is still important to work with a local agency, or if it is better for having a global tool and going directly to the provider. Is location a factor or not anymore?
Not anymore, definitely. And this is one of my favorites too. So I have a lot of things that I like to talk. So I like to talk. I really, really love to work with remote teams. And one of the things I used to say is that use the power that you have in your hands, because this is the magic to work in a global team. So I had an experience that I need to share. Last month, I started in this position, and I have appeared in EMEA, in Europa, and she's helped me to understand how our cultures and markets are similar or not. And especially during the pandemic, I learned from her what the country passed through and use here, because the timeline from the other countries are happening before than here in America Latina. So when the first case started here, I was already waiting for the waves that they pass through in other countries. So this is one thing, to work with remote workers is very good and positive for the marketing. And talking about the location, as I said, is not a factor. But when I see about a social media community manager, I really need to talk about a local person, because this is very specific about language, again, about even how to answer a meme, for example. We need to be in the country, we need to be in the place. But it's not only about to be in an office. I'm saying to be in a in this country, you can work from your home, because I truly believe that every work can be done by your home, in your home. And for sure, right now we are experiencing this and seeing this is a fact. Everybody will be working in your home at one level in one time. So, but thinking about social media community management, it's very important to be local. This is one of my first things.
So for products itself, the location is not that important anymore, but for certain positions where you need some cultural context, it's still something to be regarded. Good. There's another question from Vishnu Van Kaila, and it is, what's the best go-to-market strategy for SaaS products? It's a very big question, but she gives a hint that I think we can use. Our product is used by digital marketers. So what's the best way to reach them? What would you say?
Well, we can say together, Emilia, because we are digital marketers and we are the audience. So this is one of the things that I love to see as a first audience for digital marketing are digital marketers, and the best way to reach them is producing the most creative and different and first time ever thing. Because, for example, when we're saying about go-to-marketing strategy, we can include blogs and even trainings for your sales enablement is another thing. But when you're saying about the end user, the final customer, they want to see that you are the authority, and how to create this authority in a world that everybody is creating content, everybody is creating videos, everybody is creating a lot of different strategies at the same time. Being creative. This is the only thing that I need to say, because for me, for example, I would love to receive something that is like, okay, we are doing this new test, and they join us to be a tester, or join us to see how this is going on. We will share the first results with you. And when I say this, sounds like a survey, and this is not a very creative or new strategy, but if you build this with a tone, ideally for this audience, can be a very big thing. So digital marketers like to be the first one to see something. So I can speak for myself. I don't know if you think the same, Emilia.
Definitely. I think we love to be on top of the subject. So we are early adopters. Most digital marketers are early adopters, and we like to give feedback on products. So go to market for products for digital marketers. Definitely, the problem is not how you attract the attention, but how you retain the attention. So I would definitely go deep into the product market fit to understand if that product actually solves for a huge problem for that audience, for digital marketers. Digital marketers are busy people. They have tons to do, little time, huge amount of tools to go through every day. So if you're solving for a real problem for them, you not only catch their attention, but for sure you retain the attention. That I think that's the main deal right now.
Yes, I use it to run out of the buzzwords, but for sure, early adopters and the another thing that we use a lot here in Brazil is about storytelling. It's all about create an experience and make sure that your audience is part of the story. And this is one thing I am trying to understand, and how we can connect the audience inside the journey as and part of the journey, not only sending emails in in first person. I wanna be part of this journey with the community. And when we are talking about software as a service, software as a service is about making constant learning and feedback and all the other buzzwords that you know.
For sure, the flywheel never stops. We need to be learning, right, all the time. And I think it's not only on the go-to-market part of the strategy, but it's definitely a flywheel, and it never stops, never ends. The moment your product stops learning from the audience, your product will be done soon. So always be learning. It's something that we definitely vouch for here at GrowthHackers with the experiments and everything. Keep experimenting, keep learning from your customers, from your market. We have two questions here on the selling to business side, more like B2B, and they're very interesting. One from Paige Gerber. He asks, what have you found to be the most effective digital channel for engaging ABM accounts? So if you're targeting for an ABM strategy, account-based marketing, what types of digital channels are you using? And the follow-up question comes from Chaitanya Patel on, is it LinkedIn? Is LinkedIn the only platform for B2B lead generation? So I think these two are well connected. What do you think?
Yes. Well, I can share some experience about account-based marketing that we are doing here, because, for example, when we are talking about account-based marketing from a digital perspective, we are saying about a list that we can announce and send ads for these people. Is a technical term. And when you say account-based marketing for a salesperson, we are saying that they will deep dive in this account and understand how they work, even how they say something, the right word to create a journey specific for them. So connecting these 2 points, I would say definitely LinkedIn is not only B2B but is a very good channel. I really love the way that I engage with my account managers in LinkedIn, and I need to say hi to them because I know they will seeing this. And the connecting LinkedIn with the next step, with a call, with a meeting, or with something that your sales team can produce by themselves, very personally, can be the perfect scenery landscape for me. So LinkedIn is helpful. I use a lot, but it's not the unique one. And other strategies we are using definitely are email, cell phone message, and something that I discovered is about the open door strategy, that you can send something in this time is difficult because all the question about the virus, and we need to understand how to send something to another customer in their home. But if you can send something, is like the I don't know how to say this, the cereja in the top of the cake.
The cherry on top.
The cherry, yes, the cherry on the top is when, for example, we send something for your customer in the end of a journey, they can realize and understand that you are caring about them and you understand their needs, and they, again, being very creative. So the ABM is a very good strategy, especially for big companies as CISCO, because we can make sure that the customers understand that you care about them, and they, again, is about a human in the other side. And when you pay attention on them and understand how they are thinking, what they need, you can connect and for sure build better partnerships and connections, and not only about selling. Especially in this time, I believe all the companies are rethinking the strategy because, for example, WebEx is not only a tool, is not only a software as a service thing that we are selling, is something that is helping schools to keep running, hospitals, everybody is working through WebEx. So even the pandemic time was terrible for everybody. I truly believe this is a point at the marketing life that everybody is rethinking in the rebuilding the strategy. And I used to be positive. I believe in the post pandemic, the other buzzword that everybody's using, it will be great time for marketing. And the other term that we are using is that marketing has a relevant seat on the table. So marketing is one of the things that all the boards are thinking about, and we can go through this thing hours to talk about this.
Definitely. And so on another note here, moving from this B2B ABM approach and talking more generally on marketing, and I think the heart of marketing right now is definitely content. It is the heart of marketing, the heart of product. And Sarah asks us, what are some great outlets to get your content seen? They are from a SaaS company too.
Nice. Oh, I would say the first outlet that I want to see my content is my own because this is something that I used to say. You need to keep your content in your own platform, in your own place. Because, for example, when you produce some video and put on YouTube, you are giving your content to another platform. And I'm not saying not to use YouTube. I use a lot, but if you can build your own website, your own blog, your own platform, it's the greatest thing for me. And the partnership with other channels, for example, magazine Harvard Business Review that we are building for CISCO right now, in the Future of Work Summit and series, is really great. I can mention a lot of, I don't want to say just one. We have a lot of in the word, but trying to understand what are the channels for your audience, and you can choose the better for your audience.
I do believe partnerships like this one that you mentioned are definitely something to look for in terms of distribution. Getting your content out there, having your content on your own platform is definitely a way to go, and the central part of the first publishing. But on distribution, partnerships are key. I definitely agree. And I have to plug that GrowthHackers can be a great partner if you want to share your content on our forum. It's completely free. If your audience is composed by growth professionals, marketers, product people, we are the place to go, definitely on the web. So they are avid. We are avid for new content. So feel free to share your content on GrowthHackers too. Another interesting question here, going back a little bit on a topic that we well discussed in the beginning of this conversation. Planit asks us, can you help me with some employee engagement strategies to improve office culture? I believe now it's a more broad thing, not only office, but outside of the office culture, we can say.
Yes. Something that we used to do here in CISCO is this approach very near to the other, so we can share experience. And there is a specific space that we create here on the WebEx team that is called Connection, and a lot around the world sharing their thoughts, their experience, not only in the work routine, especially during this time, everybody's sharing about how their family are passing through this situation. So this is something that keep everybody thinking that we are near, but we are not near. And the use camera again is another thing. We are trying to, for example, send full pics from each home office and the building challenge and the connecting with everybody looking into your background. And okay, I see some photos today. I don't have a very busy background, but I used to have my family photo and share something. So I would say keep this engagement with your team is not only saying about you work 100% of the time, is connected truly with the other side, and again is a human in the other side of the screen.
I love that, how it is human to human when we talk about approaching our customers in a time like this, and it is still human to human when we talk about engaging our
Yes.
I love it.
Yes, the president here, the CEO here in Brazil used to say it's all about people, and I need to use his phrase because it's all about people, not only externally, internally.
100%. And St. Peters asks us, Nathália, I personally am a big fan of looking for the North Star metric and having that shared goal and company mission in place. Is that something you embrace at CISCO? And if so, how do you make an entire company, juggernaut company, get behind it? Is it something that you do have a board of metrics that everyone looks into?
No, in fact, is not something that I am embracing here right now, but I can share how we try to share our strategy with everybody. So one of the things that I mentioned before was about the videos, and we use to report through videos, and I say this is working really, really very, very well, for example, for paid metrics. We are sharing these metrics in a very fast animation, simple, and that everybody can understand. And they share this through WebEx Teams. So it's like a blast. And everybody is understand more about how our channels are performing, which channels we are using. So all these formats are helping us to get all the people behind all the strategy.
In terms of having a North Star metric for, and that's my curiosity here as a follow-up question, as having like a North Star metric for a specific product, is that something that you do, for example, for WebEx and for other products, maybe you have like this number that you're trying to achieve at a certain time, or maybe number of users or number of engaged users, or conversion rate from premium to paid user? What would be the most important one for you right now?
Yes, during this pandemic, we are trying to monetize our trials. I need to say this because for sure we are not an ONG and an OG. So we are trying to help the community, but to trying to convert these people in a paid user. So we don't have just one metric, but we follow the conversion. We follow the visits to sign-ups, for example, if the people who visit the website is signing up or not. And the other thing that we are trying to implement, and I see in the past in CISCO, we are using another tools to analyze the metrics, and we used to have this metric, the North. I don't like to use this name North Star, but we have this metric called engagement points. Was like a metric who have a lot of things together, and I don't know how to explain in detail, but right now we are not using anymore. We are drilling down by country and by these other metrics that I said, and I would say for now, for this SaaS thing in with WebEx is convert freemium to premium, and this is the metric. But I would say we do need to have all the metrics to have a big picture and a real insight to think about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it right now.
Yeah, going a little bit deeper on that, I think the follow-up questions from St. Peter's will help us. He asks, and second, how do you organize growth teams, decision-making, and responsibility so that you're able to move fast and be agile as a large enterprise company? I believe that the example that you shared with me a couple of days ago on how you adapted for having your WebEx products completely free and moving to have it delivered for so many people in a time like this. So many people need a tool like this. And I think that's a great example. Yeah. But how do you organize your growth teams and decision making?
Yes, this is some very interesting too, because here in CISCO during the pandemic we decided to have this freemium to everybody. And since ever we have this trial, because it is another strategy for software as a service. We have this trial and we are trying to get these people through a journey and convert them to pay. But during the pandemic, we can't just think about convert and not only help the community. So we open the trial to everybody and improve the capacity. So we have more people using the software during the pandemic, and with full complete features available. So imagine this was really hard for our product management team, and they decided to do this, and it was really great to see all the other business entities of the company help it. For example, data center helped us to make this available, and the enterprise helped us to make sure that all the switches are running. So it was really a teamwork. And how we organize this, we have this analytics team helping us to build a very detailed dashboards, and even today we are talking about how to have the drill down by country in Latin, because in Latin we have this other multi-country thing. We have a lot of language, a lot of countries running at the same time. So I partner with this analytics team to build the right dashboard that we need, and right now we use Domo and Tableau. So these both tools help us to have our business insights and all the capacity that we need to have to run the quantity of trials, for example, we have. And the other decision that we used to base on these dashboards are about paid media, because a large enterprise company, we need to make large enterprise decisions. So we do need to have these dashboards to understand how we can move fast or not, or okay, we are investing in this channel and not in another channel, and constantly learning with this analytics team, because I am a marketing manager. I'm not a technical person for analytics, but I would say every marketing manager in the world needs to understand how to ask for information. This is something really tricky, because how to ask for information is something hard. It's not so easy because we need to understand exactly what your market needs, your internal people needs, to create something that makes sense. So this is something that I am keep learning. I'm not the expert on this, but I have some very good situations that I could see in a dashboard, something that I would like to see filtered by my country, and ask for my team to build this on a Tableau or every tool that we can build this kind of metrics. So this is really important for me.
Yeah, this is super interesting. Right now, I believe the challenge for all of us as marketers is not, do I know this? It's what I do with what I know. So we have access to so much data and analytics and information. And what are we doing actually with this information that we have? At GrowthHackers, we built this algorithm based on machine learning, artificial intelligence, so marketers and growth professionals could extract from the data the information they need, the insight they would spend hours to extract, right? Because that's also another problem. You have so much information, so many dashboards, that actually to cross this information with each other, to understand outliers, to understand that something either behaved differently from your forecast, or that something actually was well past your expectations or not really, and act upon it and either recover something that you missed or join into a trend and transform a certain spike into a trend. So that's a lot for marketers to take right now. And this product that we it's one of our most recent products that's helping a lot of marketers to move this past the data, past the reports, and actually going into action. And we're very excited about that. And Nathália,
yes, and not only justify. Sorry.
Please.
Just to add something. I know we are on time, but just to say, I used to see marketing managers trying to justify actions with data, and this is the biggest mistake that I can see, because we don't need to justify any action. We need to create action with data. Data is the first step. So this is something that I really need to say.
Exactly. We use data to get the learnings, and then we act. So it's all about analyzing to have new ideas. With these new ideas, you can experiment on them. Once experiment to understand with data if they worked or didn't. If they did work, you have a lot of work to do. You have to deploy all of that. If it didn't work, you can also register for future learning, for future use.
Sure.
Yeah. I just pitched our experiment software, so that was easy. One final question here, Nathália, from Rodrigo. And it's a really interesting one, because we talk about remote work as if we were always talking about our own team, but we are not always talking with our own team right now. Many companies, and of course CISCO and so many companies, deal and manage third-party contributors. So his question is on that. Could you share with us what would be the main attention points to effectively manage third-party contributors in a time like this, where remote work became a reality for everybody, including your contributors, your agencies, your consultants? How are you doing right now with these other, we can say, these team members that were always remote?
Yes. Well, I need to tell you about the experience when I was in PTO last week, 2 weeks ago, when I I leave, I said, okay, next week I'll be off. Everything needs to happen during this, and here is the things that I need to get done when I come back. So I come back and I received 1,000 emails, and I said, okay, let's wait and do a very brief call to see what is waiting for approval or not. So this is something that is working very well for me. Personally, I use it to call with the responsible for these agents, the team in CISCO, and try to get the work session, really work session. For example, I need to approve some localization. Let's put this on the screen and do this right now. Not wait for me to do something or send you a document. And even if I need to send a document, I send through WebEx, and this is easier. So this is one of the things that I am doing. And the other thing that I see in the marketing is about managing agents through other tools that we can connect with all the productive tools that we have. For example, Office 365, we have Exchanges and SharePoint and other tools that you can manage together with these external teams. I personally like to share my documents in the environment that I can share in CISCO. So I don't suggest to build something outside the company environment, IT environment, to keep all the things secured. So this is one of the things that I use to do: share documents, share things, and always call with open camera. Works really well
That's
for me.
interesting. And having these work sessions when you have like 4, 6 all hands meetings with your contributors. I think that's a great suggestion. Thanks for sharing that. Nathália, thank you so much.
But keep them briefly.
Yeah, exactly. It's not only about making sure the things are approved, but giving the feedback that can be used as briefing for future projects for sure. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for this. I really enjoyed, really learned a lot from you, and I'm sure our community has as well. So thanks so much for doing this with us, and hopefully we can do more sessions like this in the future. And yeah, I hope the experience was also as good for you as well to be able to share all of your expertise. Thanks for this.
I love it to be here. Thank you. I hope we can learn together another time.
Definitely. Let me just invite you then for our Growth Hackers Conference coming up September 1 and 2, September 1st and 2nd, 100% virtual for the first time. So I'm sure we can be together then. And please invite your team. If you're watching, invite your team as well. We have free tickets and amazing, amazing content. Thanks so much for doing this with us, Nathália. See you soon.
See you.